thing, though, can be learned from, and that's the important thing here. Negligence is defined as failure to use reasonable care resulting in damage or injury to another. Intent is defined as intention or purpose. So the question here is for all of us, do we sit here and keep bitching and moaning and complaining and finger pointing, which, by the way, none of that changes what happened? Or do we have good intent moving forward and have the intent of making sure that we keep our students safer and we do not fall into our own negligence case by not doing the best we can to make sure our classrooms are safer? That brings us to the question of the day. What have you learned from this case that you would incorporate into your school to make sure that you keep your students safer so that way something like this doesn't happen?
Wow, great summary by the McDojo Breakdown on YouTube called The Incident, and referring to the Del Mar Jiu-Jitsu, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu incident. It was a lawsuit. You can find all the information. That's what I've been watching just now in regards to this $46 million lawsuit. And what have you learned from this case that you can use that will make you and your students safer is something that every single Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym owner has to ask themselves right now. And not only do they have to ask themselves that, they have to document this and put this into a process procedure. What that's called is a risk management plan. This lawsuit shows all of us that, yes, accidents do happen. And whether or not you think that this was something that should have been a win or a loss from the standpoint of the defendants. However, the case is what it is, and now we have to move forward. And one of the biggest things that you're going to find if you ever had to go into a case like this and defend yourself is going to be a focus heavily on the risk management plan of that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Academy, on the applications for the insurance companies that are defending you. There's even questions on that application ensuring that you have not only a well-documented risk management plan, but all of your employees, volunteers, and other coaches also are aware. And it's something that's reviewed on a continued basis. They will spend a lot of time in that court room talking and detailing the information in that risk management plan. So don't just brush this off to the side. Make sure you spend time on it. If you need more information of what risk management plans are or what they should entail, give me a call and let's talk about it. But at the end of the day, you need to identify that there are risks associated with the sport. And then from there, we're going to build the risk management plan of action. And then we're going to continue to implement that plan moving forward into our processes and our daily business activities at our Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym. The other thing that I think every Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, what I've learned from this as well, is making sure that the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu insurance policies that you have as gym owners are up to date. What I mean by up to date is, have you paid your insurance premiums? You know, since COVID, I can't tell you how many gyms thought that they were still paying for insurance and they just weren't. Unfortunately, that just happens. Life gets busy. That's okay. But first, make sure that you have the insurance in place. Does your liability insurance coverage also have coverage for the participants participating in the activities of your gym? Not all general commercial insurance provides activities for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and other mixed martial arts. So you better make sure that that's a covered activity or that it's not excluded in that policy. Does the gym policy for the liability also cover the participants for open mats? That's another great question. And some insurance companies do, and some insurance companies don't. If they don't, then you should talk to us about getting that added to your insurance policy if it's not covered already. And then finally, another thing that I've learned is to make sure that you're not assuming that every single coach or volunteer or coach or employee is covered under your blanket martial arts liability school policy. They don't often cover independent contractors, or if they do, it's something that has to be added on. I can't tell you how many times people have come to us to find out later on that they purchased a policy years ago and they never had coverage for their coaches. So let's make sure, call us. We can tell you exactly what insurance companies cover, what type of risks, what type of activities. We can make sure that all your coaches are covered. We can make sure that any events or open mats are built in to your overall liability policy. But if you're going to assume that and you go into a trial case like this one, don't assume that your insurance company is going to pay for the participant liability similar to that of the Jack Greener case. So again, at the end of the day, learn from this event. It is what it is, and we have to move forward. And I think that's a great point by McDojo Breakdown in giving us that push to say, hey, it's time to move on, asking us the question, what did we learn? And then how do we move forward from this? Part of that is making sure that your insurance policies are up to date. Don't assume anything when it comes to your insurance policy. And if you have questions, give us a call, drop your information below in the form that we have, and we'll go ahead and get working on evaluating your company's property and casualty insurance, commercial gym liability insurance today. Thank you for your time.